hot-headed naked ice borer. Did you ever hear
Yep.
that?
Yes, it did.
That's good. Did you hear about it from me, or did you look it up? Did you
I
find it?
saw it earlier today. I wasn't very interested.
If you weren't interested, how could you
I'm
not
just
be
kidding.
interested in
I'm
this guy?
kidding. I'm
He
kidding.
looks like a, I don't know, shriveled up wiener with a balls on his head. But
Yeah, essentially.
those are my favorite animals. Are the the little critters of nature that don't know that they're ugly. That's some of my
Well,
favorite shit in the world. Let's read about this hot-headed naked ice borer for a minute. Here are we here. Strange mole-like animal melts ice tunnels with its head. The hot-headed naked ice borer may have feasted on a polar explorer. April Pazzo was about to call it a day when she noticed that the penguins she was observing seemed strangely agitated. Pazzo, a wildlife biologist, was in Antarctica studying penguins in a remote and poorly explored area along the coast of the Ross Sea. I was getting ready to release a penguin I had tagged when I heard a lot of squawking, says Pazzo. When I looked up, the whole flock had sort of stampeded. They were waddling away faster than I'd ever seen them move. Pazzo waded through the panicked birds to find out what was wrong. She found one penguin hadn't fled. It was sinking into the ice as if it was quicksand, she says. Somehow the ice beneath the bird had melted. The penguin was waist deep in slush. Pazzo tried to help the struggling penguin. She grabbed its wings and pulled. With a heave, she freed the bird, but the penguin wasn't the only thing she hauled from the slush. About a dozen small, hairless, pink, mole-like creatures had clamped their jaws onto the penguin's lower body. Pazzo managed to capture one of the creatures. The others quickly released their grip and vanished into the slush. Over the next few months, Pazzo caught several of the animals and watched others in the wild. She called the strange new species hot-headed naked ice borers. They're repulsive, says Pazzo, and they really are. They look just like Matt's foreskin, preserved in a jar. Adults are about 6 inches long. Yeah, that sounds about right. Weigh a few ounces. Have a very high metabolic rate. Their body temperature is 110 degrees, and they live in labyrinthian tunnels carved in the ice. So, Pazzo's discovery may also help solve a long-standing Antarctic mystery. What happened to the heroic polar explorer Felipe Poisson, who disappeared in Antarctica without a trace in 1837? I wouldn't rule out the possibility that a big pack of ice borers got him, says Pazzo. I've seen what these things do to emperor penguins. It isn't pretty. And emperors can be just as much as 4 feet tall. Poisson was about 5'6". To the ice borers, he would have looked like a big penguin. So, what do you think of that story? And the hot-headed naked ice borer head guy.
that's definitely an interesting one.
Well, I got news for you.
What?
You've been tricked, and that was an April Fool's joke.
Oh, fuck.
Tricked. Everyone in chat has been tricked. Epic style trick. Okay.
Trick.
Yeah, it's an April Fool's joke from some fucking science magazine. I don't know if I can actually figure out what it was from. From Discover magazine, the April 1995 issue. But that was a story I always remembered from my childhood, and I always enjoyed. What's going on here? What am I looking at? What am I observing?
Just keep watching it.
Oh, I'm watching, bro. What's going on?
I really don't know.
Why are they playing the Beatles?
I just noticed that.
Holy shit. What is this video? What is this supposed to be to me?
See, it's moving around the water.
I see. It's just gay and probably fake, bro.
I found the actual video. I don't know why it redirected me to another one last time I clicked.
Too late,
it.
I got one. It's a better video.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it kind of makes us feel all weird inside.
Oh, that is it.
Well,
Okay.
many things.
I don't want to listen to this bitch talk. So they're comparing it to the Loch Ness Monster.
Not even similar.
Well, it seems to me like with this thing, it doesn't really look alive. Looks like a clump of shit that's floating around in the ice, and you can see like the sharp angles in it, which are not common on like biological things. That's weird.
Yeah, but it could also go back into the myth of it.
I guess why? You said go back into the myth of it?
Well, yeah, because lots of mytho things don't have like symmetrical bodies.
Oh man, I'm looking at this thing. It's definitely just some crap fucking floating through the goddamn water.
You know what? You're some crap put into the goddamn water.
It's not true. No.
I don't know, dude. I just like not the video of this fucking British bitch talking, but the other one where it was just like actual footage, the original footage. It did these weird oscillations in the water. I don't know. It just looked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen that video a lot before. I've never been impressed by it, obviously. Doesn't do it for me.
I mean, dude, it's probably fake, but I want to believe.
Me
Just
too.
a prank, bro. Says Ice GE and then dunk, one word. I just sent you a link to it on Twitter, so.
Icegedunk.
Ice.
Dude, I'm not getting shit.
I sent it to you on Twitter.
I got
Look at
it.
your messages.
Oh my god, that's what you're saying? You didn't find me a decent picture of this thing?
No,
That's what you got for me? Dude, I can't even save that image. It's not even a fucking JPEG or anything. This thing, it's basically a fucking... This is the stupidest thing. It's a manatee with a pit bull's head is what we're looking at here. Literally, it's a manatee with a pit bull's head.
So it's from Alaska and Canada. It is an almost extinct species, and it's an otterid pinniped, which body tapers down to a fleshy wheel, which allows it to move.
There's no wheel on that fucking picture, even.
Yeah, there is. Of course there is at the end. Here, just let me read it to you.
Oh, it's the circle that looks like a manatee tail. I get it now.
Icegedunk. I'm not even reading that. I can't read
I want to get it on screen. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
it. Wow, that's saying something, too.
It is. There we go. It's a tiny, shitty image, but that's him. And he's got a pit bull's head, which I think is the funniest part about him, which tells me that he's responsible for like 75% of oceanic maulings.
This heroic pit bull swam across the entire Atlantic Ocean to maul 35 children's faces off. Brave, stunning, powerful.
Okay, so I got on screen the Yeti scalp in hand, which I think is very interesting. That these are held in a monastery. I believe in Tibet. If I can find handy dandy Wikipedia on this, this is the Pangboche hand and scalp artifacts. Oh boy, artifacts from a Buddhist monastery in Pangboche, Nepal. That's where it's from. So, supporters contend that the hand is from a Yeti, a scientifically unrecognized animal purported to live in the Himalayan mountains. A finger bone from the hand was tested, and the DNA is shown to be human. So, apparently a scientist goes to the monastery, and he's a total dickhead, and he busts off a piece of the fucking finger, because he has to fucking test the thing, and he replaces it with human bone. And, they don't fucking notice in Nepal. They don't have a fucking clue. And he goes and tests it. But I've heard a lot of different reports saying that it was tested and it came back as like an unknown hominid, and then others did say it was human. And then you'll have the hardcore Bigfoot guys who will swear that Bigfoot is human, and he always has the female mitochondrial DNA from a human. So that you'll never have pure Bigfoot because he is that close to us. And this goes into the Nephilim stuff, kind of.
Also goes into the story of the Russian one. The Almas, yeah. It's all, dude, I don't know. I think Bigfoot's one of the only ones that might actually be as real as people make it out to be, only because, in certain remote parts of the world, there's areas that, modern humans have not touched in thousands of years. Yeah. So maybe there could be extant populations of either Gigantopithecus or some other kind of subspecies that are living or existing, or just forced to move out there. Who knows? Honestly, because we don't know.
My thing with Bigfoot is that I've watched so many fucking Bigfoot videos that I have to believe, and it's not any single video that does it. I always say this: it's not one Bigfoot video that you'll look at and be like, okay, that's definitely Bigfoot. You have to look at all of them and sit there watching them over and over again. Then you find the consistencies throughout them, the ones that share none of those consistencies, and then you see that the consistencies that are difficult to fake, like arm length in particular, the gait. And you see in this image I have on screen, you have the conical head on the scalp. They always have that conical head. They always have the pronounced brow ridge. Always. Yep. So it's stuff like that I can't discount it. And then, like, a lot of people will say there's weird stuff, like in the Patterson-Gimlin film, which is the most famous Bigfoot footage. It's the one where he's walking in the dried-out riverbed, swinging his arms. Everyone's seen it. The one guy, Patterson, he drew that exact scene before. He was into Bigfoot prior to that. He was a Bigfoot researcher. He had drawn that exact scene. And that seems very, very shady that would be the case. And then you look at guys like the Ape Canyon sighting, which is like one of the most well-documented Bigfoot sightings ever, where like a bunch of miners in their cabin were attacked at night by big feets, by ape men as they called them. And the thing about that is one of the main guys involved with that was saying that he's been in like telepathic communication with the Bigfoots all this time, that they're an interdimensional being. And then you'll have, like, I was listening to Todd Standing on his live stream tonight, and he kept talking about how, like, there's a lot of the psychic connection with Bigfoot, how he gives you, like, mind zaps, and he like, makes you feel emotions, and he can, like, implant dreams and shit. And this is one of the guys who's taken more seriously. He's dealt with Les Stroud from Survivor Man. He's done shows with him. And he always says that he's trying to downplay that stuff so that he can get serious scientists on board. But all of these Bigfoot guys say that there's this supernatural element to it, which, like, I almost want to believe it. I really want to.
Yeah. No, I mean, at a certain point, things start making too much sense to, not be considered just weird, taboo, out of this world shit.
Seeing in chat, we got the video that sold me on Bigfoot was the one of the loggers catching that huge-ass tree being tossed like a javelin out of the bushes across a field. And that's a fantastic one. It's definitely something throwing a giant-ass motherfucking tree, without a doubt. And, like, it's like, what can do that? Like, a bear can't do that. And bears don't throw things. They don't have thumbs. A human couldn't have done that. And it's a really good video.
You have that video?
It's, like, impossible to see in the original clip. That's why we enhance and zoom. You see how big that is, right?
Yeah. That's at least a 15-foot tree.
It's hard to say. There's no perspective on it. You can see the critter. You can see it, and you can see it. You can see it like rolling its arm, like the way you would throw a baseball or something. The way no other animal except a primate would throw something.
Yeah.
And the thing's at least it's like fucking 3 times as tall as the critter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's like might be 18 feet. It's probably a small dead tree.
Yeah.
I cut down a lot of trees, dude. But I feel like I can visualize